Our beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 1,200 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin Bros, kids. Brought to you by Ross Patterson and Jared Taylor, Matt Best, Rocco Vargas. Shit, what's your name?
Evan Haver.
Okay, that's it. Sorry, I've gone full Biden today. And I'm just calling everybody by old co-host names. And I apologize for that. But go ahead and give me some money to run for president here. Jesus Christ, that NATO summit last night was brutal.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
What the fuck are they going to do?
I mean, I've said for, a year now that I think they're going to punt on this election.
But it's him. Like, I watched the whole presser afterwards, and he was, screaming at one point. Whispering at another real quietly.
Yeah, he just, he was whispering, and then he looked off and to the right.
Yep.
Like stage right, and just started, roar, fucking get him. Like, who are you talking to, dude?
I don't know.
I mean, it was bizarre, to be honest. Not as bizarre as people were saying, oh, thank God he actually showed up. Because there's a lot of people on the left who are like, oh, yeah, that's the Biden we love. Like, is it?
Is it?
The guy who doesn't remember words and shit, huh?
So we'll start.
Did you watch?
Yeah, we'll start with the first clip, too, by the way, because that was on a teleprompter. Did I watch what?
These were all on teleprompter.
Oh, I didn't know that. So the second part was, too?
Yeah.
Okay.
That NATO speech was all on teleprompter, and then he did question and answer afterwards, but he said, I'm going to call for questions from a list of names that I was given. And he asked prescribed questions, and he read off a teleprompter the responses. I don't know if you could tell when you were watching it, but it was very obvious to me.
Well, he had notes in front of him, so it would make sense. Because another radio host came out and said that the White House had called, and they demanded that there was an edit. So in those series of radio interviews that he did last week, not only was one host fired, another host said that they were asked by the White House to edit out certain parts of the interview, which they obliged. We'll start with him introducing Zelinsky. Do you have that clip, Bob? Yeah. Because with that one, man, this was on a prompter, and it was all you had to do was 3 sentences. That's it. Just a 3-sentence intro. Here we go. Here's President Zelinsky.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelinsky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
There's another angle, Bob, that shows Zelinsky as he says that. I don't know if you can find that, but that one's like, Zelensky's like, oh man. You know, but you know what I bet Zelinsky felt like in that moment? He felt like when you're at your grandma's house and she's already given you $10 and she's like, she has dementia. She's like, hey, you want $10? Like, yeah, I'll take another 10. I'll take another 10.
So in this angle, wait, before you play this, Bob, in this angle, I felt the opposite. I felt like he just saw someone stealing all of his money out of his bank account, or he was just like, oh shit, Trump's gonna win and I'm not gonna get any more money for this goddamn
Maybe.
war. That's it. Press play on this angle.
Now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination.
If he has courage, why isn't he fighting?
President Putin.
He's wearing army clothes.
President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin.
Oh boy, he just saw all that money being sucked out of his bank account.
Why? Let me ask you this: why is he wearing fucking OD green pants and a black pullover? You don't have a suit?
No.
You're at the fucking UN, faggot.
He came off the front line, Stan, and then he just
he's never been in a fucking fist fight in his life.
He was able to show up for this after being on the front lines.
he probably just choppered in because he was fighting, and he was like, ah, shit, I got to go do this thing with Biden and get some more money. I'll be right back, and then I'll be back to the front lines. His whole outfit has been intentional since the get-go. That he's the guy, he's been on the front lines, all this other shit. At this NATO summit, I agree with you. This makes zero sense, that you can't wear a fucking suit there. You're not the one who's personally in this war.
Yeah.
It's everyone else.
It's the 500,000 Ukrainians you've sent to die for no reason because the West told you to.
Yeah.
That's all that really is.
It is. And what was the thing he got his wife? Was it a Bugatti?
Yeah.
Great. So that guy right there just realized, oh, fuck. I got 4 more months before this is all done here. Now, Biden can write some more checks up until January 20th. But after that, I have a feeling this is all over for him. And he realized it there in that moment. Then the NATO summit happens about an hour later. Now, here's the wild thing with this. And I don't know whose fault this was or why, but it was pushed an hour, which pushed this into prime time, which knocked out the ESPYs that were on ABC for,
to be fair,
a half hour.
Nobody watches that shit anyway.
No, but there's nothing else on.
Yeah.
But they also, it was on every
on.
single network, but every single network, they broke into it. So ABC, CBS, Fox, all the big 4, they broke in for this, and then they played this, and then they did maybe 20 minutes afterwards of like a recap. So David Muir, like I was watching ABC last night. David Muir came on afterwards and was like, well, that was the president speaking, and how do you guys think it went, and should he still be president? And the answer was, I don't think so. There was good moments and there was bad moments, and then other people were coming in just saying it was fucking horrific. Play the clip where he calls his vice presidents not Kamala Harris.
You referred to Vice President Harris as Vice President Trump. Right now, Donald Trump is using that to mock your age and your memory. How do you combat that criticism from tonight?
Listen to him. That's what he says.
So that was the question.
Now,
Play it from the actual speech.
Go back and play that video you were just playing, though, because you'll see him. This is when he was getting ready to walk off stage.
Yep.
Back up a few seconds so you can actually hear it.
How do you combat that criticism from tonight?
Listen to him.
This concludes tonight's
And now watch him walk off
Thank you,
stage.
everybody.
Oh, you don't. It doesn't show in that video.
Yeah, the rest of that video, by the way, when it was live,
yeah, he barely made it off the fucking stage.
it looked like
He looks like Mr. fucking Magoo.
he looked like he shit his diaper again.
Yeah, well, he may have pooped a little bit.
That's what because it was that stilted, slow walk. But yeah, play the clip where it was live, Bob.
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president until I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
Okay, so
Look.
you can press pause on that right now. So the difference between that gaffe, as the media is calling it, and not dementia, the difference between that gaffe and the first one, at least in the first one was Zelinsky, he caught himself. And he said, oh man, I didn't mean Putin. I meant we're trying to beat Putin. He didn't catch this and just finished out the rest of his speech. The reporter we showed was at the end of this who came back and said, hey, bro, so that speech you just gave, Trump is already using this on social media, and he never corrected himself, and he never said Kamala Harris. So I don't even know how long the meds are working, how long he's in tune for, and then what happens after this. Because
I want the meds.
that he's on?
Just tell me what the cocktail is, and
Yeah.
I'll try it on the show. I'll take it, and then we'll see if it's a better show.
Boy, I bet it's so intense that it wouldn't be. Imagine a guy like me on those fucking things.
You just hear like a high-pitched ringing in your ears.
Bro, it would be like Alex Jones on steroids, dude, if I did some shit like that. My God,
Or like
man.
a whale getting raped.
And then scroll down, Bob, to that picture. The internet is so fucking fast. Within, dude,
This was up during the speech.
Yes. Dude, I went to Twitter. This was up, I would say, less than 2 minutes after he made that remark about Kamala Harris being president or Vice President Trump there. And this was up. This was the picture. Whose account was this? Because it's genius.
I don't know whose account this is. This is not the person who made it.
Okay.
But
I mean, it's just an AI program that puts people together.
yeah, this
That's
You can just
Putin
go
and
to the
Zelinsky.
shitty
And then there's
website on
Putin
there to do
and
this.
Zelinsky there. Kudos to you. The internet is undefeated.
This is why the internet exists.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't
It's
care
just for
about anything
memes.
else.
No, me neither. Me neither. But now everybody's asking what they should or shouldn't do because at the end of this press conference, defiantly, once again, he was screaming, like you said earlier, I'm staying in this race. I'm the guy for this job, and I'm going to complete what I started. Is that good or bad for everybody? I don't know. I mean, I said this on fake news where I think for Trump, you just let him keep going because Trump's been invisible for 10 days, which he should be. Like, let these interviews keep happening. At this point, I don't want anybody else to take over. Like, let Joe go. And you're starting to get to the point where even if they replace him with Kamala, that's too late. So either option doesn't matter.
I'll go back to what I said before. I think that certain people wanted to punt on this election. Probably Obama, because they didn't feel like they could win it. There's no way to leapfrog Joe and Kamala. I think everybody knows that. If you do push Joe out of the race and Kamala runs and loses, that's a bad look for the next woman or woman of color to run, right? If you're going to be the first one, you better win, like Obama did, right? They waited until they knew they were going to win to actually run that guy, because a lot of at least on the left, a lot of popular black dudes have tried to run for president before. Jesse Jackson was one of them.
Yep.
Actually, he almost primaried fucking Jimmy Carter in '80, but when Reagan entered the race, he's like, "Well, I'm not beating him, so let's." Like, you can't beat a Republican from California in a federal race. That's not going to happen. So he withdrew from that. But I mean, and there were good black candidates through the '90s as well. None of them wanted to run against Clinton because you couldn't win against Clinton, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to run against Bush because Gore was Clinton's guy. You couldn't leapfrog him. And it didn't become obvious until, the convention in 2004 at the DNC where Obama spoke. It was like, oh, that's going to be, in 2000, everybody knew in 2008 he was going to be president.
Yeah.
So I don't think they want to fuck up the path for the next woman that runs.
Well, the surprising thing to me is immediately after he finished last night, I think the media is starting to realize, oh shit, it doesn't matter what we do, we're not getting him out of there.
So that wouldn't be the first woman that runs
for president.
Yeah, I mean, but she would get trounced, is what I'm saying. Like, you can't fucking.
I agree.
Hillary did well. She won the popular vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She did well. She just happened to not win that election. If you run Kamala Harris, that is like, she's going to lose in a landslide.
Yes.
Especially in the Electoral College. I don't know about what the popular vote would look like, but I don't think she would get more than like 60 or 70 electoral votes.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
Yeah, she would get wiped.
She'd get wiped,
They
yeah.
thought they had that situation already.
Yeah, I know, and they were right at the time. They were right. They just didn't understand what Trump brought to the table. They didn't understand the populism that was going on in the U.S. at the time, and they fucking doubled down on it by fucking Bernie Sanders over and pushed a lot of people over, and I don't think they read that well either.
No.
But Hillary, if they had done things the right way, if they had bought Bernie off at the very beginning, they probably would have won, to be honest, and Trump never would have been president.
Even Bernie, with it being a populist movement at that time, people fucking love Bernie.
Yeah.
The crowds he was drawing in 2016 were just as massive as Trump.
That's what I'm saying.
Wild.
All Hillary had to do was make a few concessions to the Democratic Socialist people.
Yep.
Like, all right, cool, we'll look at this. We'll look at getting rid of student loans or whatever. And then make Bernie the fucking secretary of fuckery or whatever, right?
Yep.
And then that's it.
Yep.
She would have won that election. They just fucked it. I mean, they stole defeat from the jaws of victory in that one.
Well, we found out later what actually happens when they ran her doc on Hulu. She hated Bernie Sanders in real life, and she was not shy about it.
You know what? A lot of people don't like each other, and they still work together.
Yep.
You and I, for example, we hate each other.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I
as soon
fucking
as the
hate you.
cameras are off, it's bad.
Yeah, I jack off on your leg like that guy in Philly.
Yeah, and then that's why we keep playing the Meek Mill audio, because he's putting bounties out on people doing that now.
Right.
But for real, I wouldn't. I'll say this: I wouldn't be shocked if Trump said Ron DeSantis was going to be his VP on Sunday. That wouldn't shock me at all.
Really?
Yeah.
It would shock me.
It would not shock me at all. It would be a very smart move as well.
Look, I think so too. But so far we've heard nothing.
Yeah,
So, you know what?
But you haven't heard anything about anything. All you've heard is the fucking little bits that Trump has leaked out, and we know I think everybody knows that Doug Burgum and Marco Rubio are not real choices.
I agree.
It's the Peter principle. It's like you have to fucking have a couple in there to make like, well, at least it's not Burgum. At least it's not Rubio. He's thirsty all the time. Fucking J.D. Vance. All right, we'll take him.
I genuinely hate both of those two. If they were in, I would be very, very disappointed.
Yeah.
I read a stat the other day. I don't know that it will be DeSantis. And I think if DeSantis is aware of this stat, I think he should stay away from it. You know what vice president's records are running for president?
No.
Well, in the early days of the Republic, they were really bad. I think the first two won, and then it wasn't until John Quincy that a VP won again, so it was a while. I don't know about recently.
They're 6 and 12 all time.
Yeah.
So they're pretty underwater.
So Adams won after Washington. Jefferson actually beat Adams. So I don't know how you count that, but I guess that would be a win for the VP. But then another one didn't win until John Quincy. And then after him, I don't think it was because Lincoln was never a VP, right? Like neither was FDR.
Yeah. And by the way, not only that, only 4 sitting vice presidents have ever won election for president.
So Adams,
Jefferson,
fucking George H.W. Bush,
and Van Buren.
Martin Van Buren.
Oh,
So
yeah.
only one has done it since the 20th century.
Damn.
Yeah.
So it's actually not a good path to the presidency.
Well, I guess that's
Interesting.
true because you just inherit all the baggage from that presidency, whether you were in charge of anything or not. I mean, that's what fucked up Biden more than anything. To be honest, if Biden had been a senator through Obama's presidency, and it was him versus Hillary, he probably would have won that nomination.
So I kind of think, remember we talked about this yesterday, I thought about it a little more, and I kind of think I have a formed opinion on why I think they wanted Hillary over Biden in 2016. I think there was, obviously the woman played a part, but if you want to talk about Obama in particular, why he wanted Hillary, I think there was a certain amount of smugness and want for polish and wanting to leave behind a kind of like good old boyism.
Yeah, like where Joe Biden's like, this is a big fucking deal, or the fact that he leaked the marriage equality thing that was coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
I think they wanted they wanted to be more buttoned up, more serious, and that's not Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Joe Biden's like, hey, whatever. Like,
Yeah, but think about the way that played out. Think about Trump versus Hillary.
I agree.
Hillary
Yeah.
trying to debate him, and he's just like, wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. I completely agree. It's the antidote for Trump in 2016 would have been someone exactly like Joe Biden.
Yeah, I mean, they put way too much faith in the American public. Frankly, the American public is stupid.
Yeah.
And
I've said
if
this for
there's a
years.
clown on stage, they're gonna watch.
And I'm one of those people. Like, I want to see the fucking clouds go. I want to be entertained. But when this all ended last night, the media is starting to shift. So, Bob, if you can go to Drudge Report, just go to the homepage there. And Drudge is just a fucking aggregator. Obviously, he's switched to the left now. Go up to that poll in the top left. So it says this is NPR and PBS News and Marist National poll. I don't believe in any fucking polls, and I sure as fuck don't believe in this. It switched. So they have Biden up by 2 points in this election against Trump, and I don't understand
That shit
how or
doesn't
why.
mean anything.
What do you mean you don't understand? This makes perfect sense to me. I think a hobo would probably win the popular vote against Trump and this is a popular vote poll.
Oh, this is a popular. So this isn't who would be at the actual president of the United
This
States.
is not odds for president. This is asking some sample of people who they would vote for.
Yeah,
Trump
and
or
is
Biden.
it like what's the scientific basis for it? Is it registered voters, likely voters?
Yeah, so
or
it's
everybody.
The only place, if you're talking this a general thing like this totally makes sense. What you want to look at is the state stuff. What does Wisconsin say they would vote for, right? What does Pennsylvania say they would vote for? But just a broad swath of Americans, Trump's not going to win the popular. I would be shocked if Trump wins the popular vote.
Really?
Yeah, when's the last
At
time?
this point?
I think Bush won in 2004, didn't
Yes, he lost the popular in 2000. He won it in
he?
2004.
Yeah, but he was
Okay.
he was the last repube to win, and before him, fuck, I don't remember when the last one. I think Reagan and
HW won the popular vote in '88.
Did he?
In '88.
Who did he run against? Fucking
Mondale?
no, Mondale was 84.
It was that's before my time. Obviously, I was born in 94. So
It was
no idea there.
Dukakis, yeah, Michael Dukakis.
And
Oh shit!
he won the popular vote pretty handily by 8 points.
So you don't think in this current election with Biden, everything that's happened to Biden, that Trump won't win the popular vote?
Now Kennedy will win a bunch of votes.
That's true.
He'll get fucking 5 to 8%. I would imagine.
That's true. I didn't factor him in, but he's not here. He's not on these things, which is odd to me.
But it's just not. These polls are meaningless. Like this
Yes.
poll, a national poll.
Yep.
Like neat. It's like who gained the most yards.
Right.
That's not what we're counting to win.
Now, 538 underneath it says Nate Silver is only predicting a 27% chance of victory for Biden.
Well, that's old. Today, it says 50-50.
Come on, man.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me check his Twitter.
That would be fucking nuts. I'm on here now. Let me see what it is. Say the 12th. All right, so this is as of 10 minutes ago.
He has Biden up. Biden wins 51 out of 100. Trump wins 49 out of 100.
How do you get those numbers?
Well,
After what's happened in the last
I
2
think
weeks?
that's straight up because this is from
electoral.
This is from 15 minutes ago. Today's forecast update.
Oh, that's electoral. So he thinks Joe Biden will be president of the United States.
This is from today, 15 minutes ago on his Twitter. Today's forecast update is out. More of the same, though. If you squint, Biden is at his lowest number yet at a 27% chance of winning the Electoral College versus 35 pre-debate.
Okay.
He just posted that.
So 27% chance that Biden wins the president.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This page says it was updated today.
Okay, and then what does that one say?
Oh yeah, that page was updated today. I saw that earlier, but I'm reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says people are engaged in a lot of poll cherry picking, obviously, and that's especially important to consider when evaluating polls with strong House effects. The notion the race hasn't changed since the debate just isn't accurate depiction of reality. It's gone down for Biden quite a bit. That's what he says.
Another interesting question that was brought up from one of the members of the press last night was financing for Biden and what he has left.
Well, not just that. So, God, where is it? I've got this fucking story somewhere.
Well, Joe, I can tell you what Joe said on stage. So Joe said he's got about $220 million and that his war chest is good.
That's not good enough to run for 4 months, but there's an article floating around today. I don't remember if it was on Drudge or somewhere else, but there's $90 million that DNC fucking people that they have it locked down. It's been frozen until Biden drops out. That's the story, anyways.
Okay. Because if I'm a donor, and like maybe it's me because I'm fucking poor compared to all this shit that you hear going on. Why would you give money to him at this point?
This is in the New York Times. Donors to pro-Biden super PAC are said to withhold roughly $90 million. It's frozen until he drops out.
Like if Bob told me he was taking up a collection or a GoFundMe to help his NBA basketball career, I would be like, man, I'm sorry, Bob. I love you. And I think you're a great guy and you're a great producer. But you don't have a shot at being in the NBA.
Sound like my fucking dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you and fuck him.
Yeah, you'll be there.
What's your bull have to say about it? I mean, I'm sure he would like you having that extra contract because jack his rates up.
He would love the extra money, lazy piece of shit.
Exactly. But if you're a Biden donor right now, I would say no, and a lot of people have. Barry Diller's out. What is it, 15? Are they up to 15 congressmen and senators to get out of the race?
I mean, a lot of rich people donate a lot, and then the PACs collect a lot of spooky, dark money that we don't know where it comes from. A lot of it comes from overseas. But as far as the main fundraisers that happen in the U.S., it's tech people and it's Hollywood, right? The ones that, like what Clooney did the other day, $30 million in one night. That comes from Hollywood or tech people. That's the only two people that do that shit. So if he loses them, then he's not going to have the money to run a normal campaign. And in addition to that, people who, even on the periphery, who would have donated or given to a Biden PAC or Biden's campaign will say, you know what, let's win the down ballot races instead. And they're going to give to the Senate Electoral Committee. They're going to give it to individual races at Senate and Congress level and shit like that.
Okay. And then Newsom released a statement. Gavin Newsom released a statement this morning saying, I'm all in for Biden. I don't think he wants anything to do with this election, even if they were to magically skip Kamala and go to him.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants anything to do with, 115 days left? It's impossible. It's impossible odds at this point.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to have to trot him out and then hope for the best. But I just think it's too late, and these donors are dropping left and right here. Hollywood is out all the way around. Rosie O'Donnell said she's out, for Christ's sakes. I mean, that's, sorry. That's it.
Out of
when
what?
Rosie O'Donnell says, I'm not supporting you anymore.
Was she like out of breath? What do you mean?
She says it's time to pass the torch, and I don't believe in Joe Biden.
By torch,
anymore.
does she mean like a burrito that she's eating right now?
I think the torch that goes underneath the plate, kind of for to-go orders or corporate events.
Yeah, she's really fat.
Yeah.
And gross.
It's those little candles that go underneath the metal tins there to heat up fajitas and whatnot. But she's out. Everybody else is out here. To me, what Newsom is saying, you've got to eventually just say, all right, we got to go in for this fucking candidate and hope for the best. I don't think you have a choice at this point. The more and more you keep going back and forth with people saying, I'm not voting for him and he's got to pass the torch and all this other shit, you're running out of time and you're just making your own candidate look like shit. Trump has been very smart by staying out of it. But, as this continues, shit, man. We got next weekend. Next weekend is the the RNC. If his vice president pick is exciting, and as long as it's not Burgum or fucking Rubio, people are going to be amped about that. That's going to be a more surge in funding for him. He's going to keep winning. So yeah, it's bizarre to see.
Do you go hard? Do you Kyle Shanahan it? Do you keep throwing the ball?
Nope.
Or do you go
28-3?
But that's what I'm saying.
Run the fucking ball, dude.
Maybe he's more likely to pick a bore now. He thinks all he has to do is keep his head down and run the ball.
Right now, a JD Vance, Bob, would probably be the safe. Let's just run it up the middle and run out the clock.
JD's a bit of a firebrand. I think that's the smartest pick for him, but he's a firebrand. So I'm saying I think that what's happening with Biden increases the likelihood of a Burgum. Now, however much, I don't know. But again, does he just run the ball?
Yeah, tough call.
What would be the
tough call?
In your opinion? What would be running the ball?
Just picking
Ben Carson.
So what was
Tim Scott.
Ben Carson is kind of a conspiracy theorist.
Tim Scott, I do Tim Scott or Burgum. So because here's the thing, like look at what he did at the debate, right? He played the debate perfectly. He just talked. I mean, he got a little weird at the end or whatever, but mostly just talked, right? Or mostly played it cool, whatever. Didn't try to dunk on Biden, anything like that. That might be the move. And if that's the move, you're more likely to get a boring candidate. Well, you don't necessarily need J.D. Vance to go out there and light fires under asses, right? You just need to know that the other person doesn't have enough clock left to come back.
And by the way, Bob, to your point, behind the scenes, the Trump campaign has said he's been able to take his time with a VP pick based on what has happened the last 2 weeks, not only with Biden, but the media itself turning on Biden and his own party turning on Biden. So who knows? We could get a super shocker pick here coming up next weekend.
I mean, again, not much would surprise me at this point because
Rubio would.
He's wild as hell. Yeah, Rubio would because he's fucking incompetent. But like if it was Vivek, that wouldn't shock me. As a matter of fact, I think Vivek would create a real dust up, and I don't not necessarily in a bad way. So it would create a dust up in that federal employees are going to start campaigning against Trump at that point, which is if they mention the fact that they're a federal employee while they're doing it, that's a violation of the Hatch Act. They can't do that. So that would be very controversial, right?
Yeah.
So but I don't think they've tried to come after Vance in the last week. It's like, he said Trump. He said he didn't like Trump one time. Did he say that, or did he say he didn't like something Trump did? Because that's not the same, obviously, right? But they tried pretty hard this week to tee up Vance for some kind of letdown, and it didn't work. So he's good. Burgum's too boring. Tim Scott would be okay, I guess, but he's just a fucking bump on the log.
In 2016, Vance was pretty anti-Trump. He said he was a never Trump guy.
He was.
Charlie Rose in 20. It wasn't just like, I don't agree with that. He was very much like, fuck Trump.
Absolutely. And look, most of them were. I mean, Rubio, I think, was the worst of all of them.
Well, they were thinking about running against him. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Right.
But, look, people can change. And so far this week, at least, because I've read the same things as you have, they've tried to go hard after Vance. I think the left think that's who the candidate's going to be. So we'll see on that.
But Pete, you said people can change. He's not a person. He's a politician.
Now he is, yeah.
Not now, always. I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about J.D. Vance.
Well,
He's a politician.
He was a lawyer and then an author, right?
In 2016, he was a politician.
Yeah, he's always a politician. Somebody whose mind works that way, who can go from fucking I'll never do this to like cozying up to the guy and defending him. That's a politician.
Oh, I agree. I just don't know what year it was. When did he actually get into office?
14, I think.
Well, he's 40, so that would have put him at 32.
He ran pretty young, but let's see what he was. And I mean, he went to like Yale Law. Like he's
a very smart guy.
He was always a politician.
Yeah. Very smart guy. Yeah, I think he was a corporate lawyer first. Then he wrote a bestseller. I know it got turned into a movie that I didn't see.
He ran in 2018 against Sherrod Brown, but lost. Or he considered running, but he didn't. So I was wrong.
So he didn't get it until 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't get into until recently, but he's been trying to get into politics for the better part of a decade now.
Okay. And on the other side of this, there was a report floating around that Jill Biden's personal hatred of Kamala Harris is another reason why she's not allowing Joe to step down whatsoever.
I mean, if she was smart, she would let Kamala walk right into that fucking wood chipper. Can you imagine her? Like, let's say it's September the 6th or whatever. I think that's the date of the next debate. I think, Bob, look that up and see when the next date is. But imagine it's September. Biden has dropped out, and now Kamala has to stand on stage next to Trump and debate him. And they're going to see not a fucking 78-year-old or 80-year-old or however the fuck old that bitch is now, 82-year-old versus Trump, who's 78. They're going to see a woman in her fucking 50s against 78-year-old Trump, who still can't formulate a fucking sentence. Right? To me, like they perp walked, the Democratic Party perp walked Biden last night. They walked him out on that stage and was like, all right, everybody take your shot. They put him in a fucking dunk tank last night with a clown suit on. It's like, everybody take a shot. Fuck this dude. There's no way that the DNC should have allowed that to happen.
I'm surprised they did. Or was it just on the books for so long that
Doesn't matter.
If he backed out, it would have looked bad?
I don't care.
It's nuts, right?
I mean, that is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. We're going to switch over to something else. It's one of the worst things I've seen in my life, and it's haunted me all day. I want to get into some gay shit. We'll stay in the presidential theme, though.
Are you talking about Diddy?
Nope, not talking about Diddy. Don't want to hear that audio, Bob. Thanks.
No, I mean, this guy wrote a fucking, hold on. Let me see what his name is. This, like massive article.
Oh, his buddy?
It says, I knew Diddy for years. What I now remember haunts me.
Yeah.
It's, who wrote it? I can't find the author.
It's his buddy.
It's in the New York Times.
It is, yeah. Yep.
It was, god damn.
Yeah. But it's on the news for free now, so you don't have to pay for that stupid shit. But it doesn't say who the author was. Does it say who the author was?
No, he's anonymous, I think.
Yeah. But I haven't read this article yet, but there's no way it doesn't include a bunch of gay shit.
It's a ton of shit. It's a ton of shit in there. The gay shit I was referring to, Bob, and I'm going to have you look this up right now. Go to the New York Post and type in, just go to Google, type in New York Post Abraham Lincoln doc.
I've been telling you this for years.
Right. And I didn't believe it.
I know
I didn't believe it. I didn't want to hear this fucking bullshit. There is a documentary coming out.
I don't know that it's true.
Of Abraham Lincoln being a homosexual.
There's always been smoke around him banging his fucking, what was his name? Captain something or other?
Well, they reenacted it. Bob, if you can pull it up.
Did they do a porn version?
It's on page 6. And the documentary... Oh, boy, I hope there's a fucking trailer for this goddamn thing, dude. There it is right there.
The trailer is called Lover of Men.
Is it really? Are you fucking joking, dude? Is it really called Lover of Men?
Yeah.
God, I read that article super fucking early. All right, so if we can find this, we got to play it. I hope it's up, dude. Yeah. Holy fucking shit. Are we allowed to play this on YouTube? Fuck it, I guess. We're not monetized, so go ahead.
He is considered a sacred figure by both Republicans and Democrats.
He led the nation through its greatest crisis.
He's on our currency. We build monuments to him.
He's the greatest president the United States has ever had.
Today, the big question that people are asking is, was Abraham Lincoln gay?
That's not the big question everyone's asking.
Many men,
No.
their closest relationships were other men.
Look at
and
this.
Same for women.
Men would live with another man when they're single, and often did, and shared beds.
Lincoln probably slept in the same bed with men more than he did with women.
One of the things that fascinates scholars is his bedding down with Joshua Speed for 4 years.
There is love between those two men.
You know that wasn't real footage of Abraham Lincoln, right?
No. Was that Glenn Greenwald?
Lincoln has a type. Dashing.
No,
daring.
it's not.
We have this notion that if you have an attraction like that, boom, that's your orientation.
Sexuality through the mid-19th century was far more fluid.
But
no, it
someone
wasn't.
who wanted a political career, it was
the goddamn Dark
mandatory to
Ages.
have a wife.
Dear Speed, I shall be very lonesome without you. Yours forever, Lincoln.
Come
what
on.
you have in the 19th century was very strict marriage culture. Get married, and then everything is possible.
Captain David Derrickson became friends with Lincoln while they were living here at the cottage.
There is a soldier here devoted to the president, and when Mrs. L is not home, sleeps with him. What stuff?
He was seen wearing the president's nightshirt.
If you want a smoking gun, here it is.
But then you see all these shifts to the end of the 19th century.
I'm going to take that guy seriously.
Freud was devastating to sexuality, defining very rigid categories.
And they're saying if a man loves another man, it's unnatural.
Homosexuality is a mental illness.
It was not only wrong, it was punishable. If Lincoln were to look down today, he would see the United States at a particularly fragile moment.
History is so important because it allows us to understand who we were, who we might become.
Lincoln's legacy is the insistence on equality.
We have been in the house of power.
If you can accept a queer Lincoln, you can accept queer people overall.
He should inspire us to achieve a true democracy for everyone.
This is the dumbest shit I'll say this. There's a pretty decent chance, for all we know, that Lincoln sucked some dude's dick at some point. Who knows? But this narrative they're trying to push, that gayness was a central part of Western civilization and was normal and accepted up until the 20th century, until, people now we're mad, you better quit it. Yeah. That is fucking nuts. That is nuts. In the 4th century, it basically was outlawed because of fucking Constantine.
Dude,
Jesus Christ.
I literally took 2 seconds for me to just Google this. Like, this is the type of thing where someone will watch this and not even think to Google it. They're like, the documentary told me that it used to be legal to be gay in 1850. Just listen to that sentence.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense to you? There were anti-sodomy laws on the books
from the fucking 18th century, from the very beginning.
So from 1700 to 1776, before we were even a country, there were at least 5 executions for sodomy. There were executions of about 50 people in the American colonies for sex crimes, including rape and sodomy.
Most men just used to fuck men back in the day.
Every state in the United States had laws that treated sodomy as a crime, but when the Bill of Rights was ratified in 1791, like, dude, also...
Let's watch this when it comes out and just absolutely fucking...
We should watch it on Patreon.
This is the fucking softcore history where you guys go full repube. Full
I would do a watch along. If I were you guys, I would do a watch along with this. Happy to sit in on that one.
This is gonna be insane.
The beauty of it is, for the audio listeners who are just listening to the trailer right now, I'll describe a couple scenes in there. They cast a Lincoln, an actor as Abraham Lincoln, and then they cast his gay lover, and there's a scene in here in which they're holding hands in bed.
And reading a book together.
Reading a book, snuggling with the guy laying on Lincoln's chest.
You know, just like bros used to do.
But so some of that though, in the like one of the pieces of evidence they have, if this is in the trailer, you know what I mean, is I'll be quite lonesome without you. That's just how people talked.
Yeah.
And by the way, in India, they will saw you in half for being a gay guy.
Yeah, like 8 dudes sleep in one room in a bed together.
And it is really culturally common for men to walk down the street holding hands in India. Like it is normal.
Same thing in parts of the Middle East. In Iraq, that's pretty normal too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is how you know, and I'm fine, like, obviously, like, if you're gay, great, whatever, I don't care about that at all, but this is how you know that this is, like, LGBT propaganda, because if they really wanted to be serious about finding a gay president, they would go to the one where there's way better evidence for that, but they won't, because that was the guy directly before Lincoln who is considered the worst president in the history of the United States, which is James Buchanan. James Buchanan, very good chance he was gay.
Really?
Never married, quote, confirmed bachelor, a lot of other smoke. I'd have to go back and look into the evidence. I can't recall off the top of my head. but very, very good chance James Buchanan was gay. But no gay guy is going to celebrate that a modern progressive gay person can't celebrate James Buchanan being gay because he was pro-slavery. He basically allowed the Civil War to happen, allowed the Confederacy to arm itself with federal munitions and stuff like that. All kinds of crazy shit. They're not gonna say, he's uncelebratable, but you can't have that sort of nuanced view of history where it's like, oh, that's fascinating. This gay guy was president, but he had a lot of views that we fucking hate.
It may turn out that who you like to fuck has nothing to do with your politics.
Maybe, or it may turn out that Lincoln was a raging homosexual man.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was. Now, the smoke on Buchanan is that he also may have been asexual, which falls under queer now.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
I think it's pan, right?
No, pan means you'll fuck anybody. A means I'm not interested in any of that stuff.
All right.
Aaron Rodgers, asexual.
Is he not boning any ladies or dudes?
I really think he's going through the motions.
Okay.
I think he likes dudes.
I think he likes dudes too. That's kind of where I lean. Yeah.
I think there's some kind of weird power dynamic with dudes, and he just likes to fucking just fuck them up. Dude.
You don't pull out of Olivia Munn. I'm sorry, and I know that's your dream girl, Bobby. Like you don't do that, right?
You don't.
No,
you don't.
Now, as an actor looking at this, the call to my parents would be so shocking. Of hey, mom, I got this awesome new role. What is it? I'm gonna be in this documentary about Abraham Lincoln. Oh my God, what are you doing? Well, I'm playing his gay lover, and then I'm sucking his dick after he freed the slaves. You want to come with me to the premiere, or you want to sit that one out?
I'm sure parents of a piece of shit human being like that would love it. yeah, let's rewrite history so all this fucking debauched nonsense is normal. Fuck off. If you want to control the present, control the past. That's how the saying goes. You rewrite history and you fucking make anything true you want.
I agree. I also think if you're really going to sell this and you really want the audience to believe in it, I need an 18-minute blowjob scene with the president and then this
where he's
kid.
Practicing the fucking Emancipation Proclamation. Yes. Fourscore worth of fucking semen in your throat, you bitch.
This is the only gay Abraham Lincoln that I acknowge.
Was this Community?
This is 30 Rock. Okay. I don't think we can play this.
We can't play the audio. Play the audio, yeah, got it.
4-7 beers ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's it. Lincoln did have a high-pitched voice, though. The DDL version of it, from what I'm told, is accurate.
Yeah, nailed it.
For that. Can you pull it up, Bob? Is there any actual recording of his voice?
No.
I think there is one.
Go to YouTube. Yeah. There might be one.
I think it was from one of the addresses like right after the war ended or something.
No, there's no.
Not one audio recording of Lincoln?
They say Edward Leon Scott de Martinville recorded Lincoln's voice on a phonograph in
it's out there somewhere.
We have no solid evidence that such a recording session ever took place.
You don't want to hear it.
I do want to hear it. I saw Daniel Day-Lewis do it. And I believe that he was Lincoln, so if it sounds like that, yeah, I'm all right with it.
It's got to be out there. Somebody probably has it in the fucking, like the way the Vatican has all that Jesus shit stored away.
Yeah.
It's not, none of it's real. All these relics showed up in like the 4th century. They're like, oh, look, we got stuff. Like, oh, yeah, and you just dug a hole in the ground and found it, eh?
Oh, man, if we had a Meek Mill Diddy recording of Lincoln and his gay lover, now that I would listen to over and over again, Bob.
Yeah,
you could play that till the end of fucking time on this show.
I'm not saying that Lincoln didn't hook up with a dude or something. Like, that's totally on board. But, like that's a possibility. But all the evidence they're presenting is, like, it's just dog shit. And again, if there's a better president to even go after for that, but you won't because he doesn't politically align with modern LGBT shit. So you're not even interested in history. You're interested in jerking yourself off.
Well, have you seen the poster for this, Bob? And I think this is the real one. I'm looking at it right now. Lover of Men poster. It's Lincoln, but he's got eyeshadow, and then he looks like David Bowie. Yeah, pop that up on screen. That is real. Okay. Yeah, that's the fucking poster for this. I mean,
what does the face paint have to do with anything? What?
I don't know.
Is he like
to show that he's gay or androgynous? Like, what's the thing there?
God, can you imagine 6'4" bony ass banging a dude. I mean, it's bad enough that he fucked women.
Is it weird that I can smell it? Like, looking at this picture right now, I can smell him having sex.
AB Stardust here.
Oh.
Yeah, he probably used Dapper Dan on that hair, too.
God damn it, dude. Because they didn't have Manscaped or any of that bullshit back in the day.
No.
So that bush was thick, dude.
Yeah, they wouldn't have even thought to trim that bush up, I don't think.
No, right?
Honest. When did women start shaving their pubes and armpits and shit?
I want to say that wasn't until like the 80s.
I feel like women were shaving their legs, though, for a while.
Big bushes were huge in the 70s.
The 20s.
Oh, they were shaving pussies in the 20s?
Legs.
So up until the 19th, so in World War I, when you came home from the fucking war, your girlfriend or wife just had a fucking bushy leg. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's
no
weird.
wonder we almost lost that one.
We sure did.
And that's why.
We sure did. When do they start shaving pussies? Can we Google that? I know Google's got that new AI feature.
That's the 90s, man.
That's what I think,
really
right?
big,
I said 80s. Yeah, I said 80s.
No way. Just go watch porno. Just go watch 80s porno.
It wasn't porn. It was the bathing suits. So like that's when you started to get into like thongs and shit like that, and you just couldn't have a clown wig hanging out down there. You had to shave up at least the sides of it. Now whether it was a Mr. T mohawk underneath that goddamn thing is another story, but you would definitely see the clown wig from some of those bathing suits in the 80s.
Do you think this is partly to take some of the smoke off of Obama for being gay?
This?
Yeah.
I think it softens it so that later when they do the Obama doc, they're like, all right, he really did have that guy suck his dick for crack.
Yeah. Well, when somebody finally is at the beach when Michelle's down there and she trips over and her fucking hog falls out, like, oh, shit. Dude.
Wow.
He's been taking that all these years. No wonder he fucking kept smoking.
Finkel is Einhart.
Yeah.
Einhart is Finkel. But the gay guy, he never sued. Do you remember that guy? We did that story a couple years ago. The former meth head who came out and said he was sucking Obama's dick for years. Obama never sued him. I would have.
Yeah.
I would have dropped a huge lawsuit on that and been like, no, dude, we're not doing this bullshit today. I can't look like I was just trolling the streets looking for meth heads to suck my dick for $20.
The practice of women removing pubic hair can be traced back to ancient cultures, including Egypt, Rome, and India, as early as 3000 BC.
Come on. Really?
Women used tools like seashells, copper razors, and pumice stones for hair removal. God, pumice stone,
A
Jesus.
seashell? Imagine trimming your pubes with
In
a
ancient
seashell.
in ancient Egypt, they used like sugar-based waxes, so sugar base, and it would melt and then rip that shit out.
Also, allegedly, Lincoln wrote a poem calling someone he didn't like gay.
Yeah, but somebody in one of the memoirs they wrote about about Lincoln, but after his death, said that he had a flash of lavender or some phrase like that, streak of lavender that was used to talk about effeminate men or whatever, and later became like a pejorative for gay people or some shit. But it was just
Streak
like
of lavender?
Yeah, it was just like calling somebody like gay for being a pussy, I think.
Okay.
To be honest, because he was a goddamn state champion wrestler, and then he was a president during wartime. Like, fuck off, man.
He's a top, if anything.
Yeah.
If he was gay, he was a top.
Also, he was, I don't know if you want to give him like full veteran status for this, but he did serve in the Illinois militia fighting against, I think, the Black Hawk Indians or something like that.
Look, as long as he was killing brown people, that's good for me.
Yeah.
That's all I
we
really care about.
yeah.
In life, I mean, to be honest. That's how I judge whether somebody's a quality human being or not.
Ed's one time after winning some wrestling match, and this was just like a wrestling match in a field with a bunch of other people watching. So like the most like hobo ass like backyard brawls.
Excuse me, this is still going on all over West Virginia right now.
I know.
Yeah.
He beat the shit out of this guy, then turned to the audience and quote said, this is a direct Lincoln quote, "I'm the big buck of this lick. If any of you want to try it, come on and wet your horns." Very gay? Very
yeah,
straight?
I mean, that's the gayest sentence I've ever heard in my entire life.
But to be honest, shit talking from more than 10 or 15 years ago is pretty gay.
Well, read that line one more time, because now hearing that line and then inside my mind hearing the high-pitched voice that Daniel Day-Lewis did, it would sound even gayer.
He was, I believe, shirtless while yelling this as well. So imagine
Shut
like
the fuck up.
Yeah, because it's the middle of a fucking backyard brawl.
Sweaty.
Yeah. "I'm the big buck of this lick. If any of you want to try it, come on and wet your horns."
Wow, dude. Why would you wet your horns in the first place? Is that an
Wet.
old bullfighting term?
WHET. So maybe like sharpen your horns.
Wet. Okay. Wet. Boy, that does sound real gay.
Yeah, wet as in a whetstone.
Yeah,
as in
okay.
sharpening.
All right.
Okay. That makes you should have said that in the first place, you piece of shit.
Yeah, Bob, you really made it seem like he was sucking the horns. You know, just just you better wet your horns. Like just kind of deep throating the horn, and then trying to go into an asshole there.
Or he just fucking grabbed a stag by the antlers and just fucked it right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be next?
Yeah, you want to be next?
He's got like a deli ticket counter thing.
Yep.
Little take a number.
He grabs a deer, rips off an antler, breaks it in half, stuffs it in his asshole, just keeps going.
Yeah. I mean,
you want next? You want to be fucking next?
If the deers are in velvet still, that might not even feel that bad, to be honest.
And
Bob,
if they had a streak of lavender in their hair, it'd be even better.
Bob, are you sure we don't have audio of that? I feel like I can find it. Hang on. Give me a check.
What,
Sure
wrestling
can't.
audio?
No. Phonograph.
No.
Did they say what it was from?
I already see it. I see it out of the corner of my eye. You can hit the button, but the headphones are coming off, dude.
Right.
I can
We'll get
see
you
it.
another time. It's fine.
I can see it down there. But again, if we had audio of Lincoln fucking this dude, cool, man. I could listen to that all day long and laugh my ass off. This is just too, the Diddy one again is just too graphic for me.
You mean this one?
Yeah, that one.
You can't turn this off, bitch.
No, you can't. The fact that somebody did that, dude. Yesterday, when we got off work, he closed it and it didn't shut all the way, and it just kept going. And I was like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I should have left it.
We're gonna have to burn this thing to the fucking ground. But yeah, Lincoln's audio fine with P. Diddy's audio too graphic for me. I don't think Lincoln would be an aggressive butt fucker. I just don't. I think he would kind of make love to him, kind of really slide it in. There's a listener back there who's just absolutely appalled. You know the show. You showed up here.
I mean, yeah, he's an eloquent man. He's tough, but he's eloquent.
Yes.
I think he's a gentle lover.
That's what I think, too.
I don't
think
know.
He was really railing out somebody's ass.
He married Mary Todd, and she is a legit lunatic.
She was
It's true.
So, I mean, like, she's the kind of woman that Jared dates.
Yes.
A fucking lunatic, right?
Yeah,
but he's like, he'll come tell you stories like, oh, she was really fun.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I bet, yeah.
Can't I
Roller
can't.
coasters are fun, too, but you don't want to live on one.
No,
You know
you
what I mean?
sure don't. You sure don't. Pull up a real pic of Mary Todd, because all I can picture is Sally Field in my mind from that movie.
That's what she looked like.
Did she, or was she uglier? I want to say, because they really kind of prettied him up a little bit.
I'm gonna get. Well, that's old Mary Todd. Let's get a young when she was breaking it off, Mary Todd.
Yeah.
Lincoln.
When did they get married? How old was Mary Todd when they got married?
12, I think.
Probably
Shut
16.
the fuck up.
Nah, she was.
All right. Because that looks like a real young Mary Todd right there. That's questionable.
Dude, it's the 1800s. Like, everyone looked 12 and then 50. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
It was just.
That's true.
Damn, she is fucked.
She married Abraham Lincoln in 1842, so she was in her 20s.
Okay, thank God.
She
All right.
was 24.
Find a pic of them. Is there a pic of them together, actually? Or like a picture of her later in life?
Yeah, later.
Yeah, let's see that one.
I mean, he's not exactly the most handsome guy.
He's not at all. And that's what I'm saying.
But he was
like,
also, I mean, I guess when she married him, he was kind of a fucking loser.
True.
Like, he lost every election he was in. He got fired a bunch.
Oof. Is that her later on in life?
Yeah.
Maybe he did switch to dudes. You know?
Well, everything they're alleging of him, except for the last guy, the Civil War guy, which at that point, yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? But like the earlier people would have been when they were young. Like when he was a traveling lawyer in Illinois, would have been the 1840s, essentially.
Okay, zoom in on this face. I really need to see this big fat face in front of me. All right.
But this is a utility face. There was no reason for a woman back then to stay good looking after she had kids or whatever. That was
Come
it.
on.
You're a mom at that point. Then you become a grandma.
You
There's
still
nothing left.
you don't want to spice it up in the bedroom and look the best you can, you know?
No, I don't think so.
So you're not. So Lincoln's not out all over town.
Can you imagine the sloppy, fucking wet spider web her vagina was?
Oh,
I mean, just gross, dude.
I bet it's intense.
Yeah, nobody wants to get involved in that.
I sure don't.
It looks like something that washed up on the fucking beach, for Christ's sake. It smells like it too.
I bet it does. I can smell it from here.
Yeah.
There's these fish that used to die in Florida once a year, and they would wash up on the beach. The stench, you could smell it from miles. I bet you that's what it was. Because I'm imagining you didn't wash it every day, right? It's not like today where you take a shower every single day. Back then, you probably took one, once, twice a week?
Yeah, probably something like that. I guess if you were richer, maybe more often. But, maybe this is why the Israelis had a bunch of weird, or the Jews back in the day had a bunch of weird rules.
Okay.
Like if you were on your period, you had to sleep in another, like there's a little smaller city outside of the city for women that were on.
True?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's totally true. She has her blood. Get her out of here. But I wonder that maybe that's why they wore all those layers of clothing. Maybe it wasn't about the temperature so much. It was about containing that smell.
That would make more sense. Yeah, because that stench would be way underneath that.
I mean, this is graphic, but
sure.
When you first go out to deploy in a new area, we were in a combat outpost, and you don't have like showers or anything, right? So I went like 40, 50 days without showering. Now you would use wet wipes and stuff as often as you could, but you can't just do that all the time because where the fuck are you going to get that amount of wet wipes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll like water bottle our hair off and wash it and shit, but it's pretty gross. And it gets to a point where there's so much sweat on your clothes, on your pants and shirts, that they're like stained white from the salt, right? And then when you sit down, you can immediately smell your balls, like immediately.
Right.
And you haven't been hot until your ball sweat has run down your leg into your socks. I'll say that in a real way. That was just the standard back then.
Yep.
Especially if you lived in anywhere that was warm, right? Like, fuck that. But see, he was in D.C., right? This wasn't Philly.
Yeah, humid as
so
fuck.
humid ass
Very
fucking
humid.
D.C. swamp in the summertime.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I mean, that's rough.
I mean, even Southern Illinois, like, right? He's from Springfield. Like, that gets pretty, because, I mean, from St. Louis, it gets pretty fucking humid up there, too.
Yeah.
It's swampy.
Yeah.
The Mississippi River is just mud. And
Yeah. So imagine what that does to a fucking vagina.
Oh, it's like hockey pads. I'm sure it would smell like hockey pads or football pads
That's
after
an
a
old
while.
cast.
Yeah.
Everyone's just, it's like you're cast when you get it off.
Because, like, in like high school football, we had a few kids who just never washed their shit. And finally, the coach came in and he pointed out these two guys and was just like, God damn it, you fucking stink. Like, I can't physically smell the stink of you. What is wrong with you? Why don't you wash your pads? And he goes, when it was some linemen, some D linemen, they're like, Coach, when we're blocking, we get into the games, we want this stink on us so that it physically bothers the other person. I was like, shit, makes sense. You know?
A lot of fighters that go close cropped hair will shave it 2 days before the fight and let it grow out a little bit, especially jiu-jitsu guys, so they can rub the burrs into your fucking face.
Yeah, the stubble.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same way with stink. I wouldn't, if I was a UFC fighter, I would go 1800s and wouldn't shower for 50, 60 days.
Just rub deer piss all over you.
Yeah, but for you, because you smelled that bad, did the rest of your team smell that
Everybody
bad?
smelled bad. Once we got showers and stuff, it was like, hey, dude, it's time to go fucking clean yourself up. We wouldn't tolerate that because there are stinky dudes that just don't care. Maybe they have different olfactory senses. But when it gets to the point that you smell too bad for yourself, that's fucked.
Yeah.
But it happened multiple times. It's like, God damn it, I got to get out of here.
Well, it happens in real life, too, when you take a shit. Sometimes you take a shit and it smells so awful that I call it prison shit. You got to flush it immediately where you're like, Jesus Christ, that's going to get in my clothes. And I got to walk around and meet people the rest of the day. This is horrific. And I have to imagine it was the same way with you guys. When you were leading them, did you point the guys out and say, look, you got to fucking shower, bro?
Yeah.
You did? You got to go?
It was either that or we would fucking drag them down there.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, they did that in Wet Hot American Summer. This fat kid didn't shower the whole camp in the summer, and they finally dragged him into a shower.
It happens in basic training a lot because people come from all different backgrounds and shit. And certain dudes just like don't have a whole lot of discipline, and maybe hygiene didn't matter to their family.
Okay.
Or something, I don't fucking know. But they wouldn't shower regularly, and we would have to make them.
Man. Well, the point of all this is if you're watching this trailer, Lover of Men, the new Abraham Lincoln doc that is coming out, picture that as these two gentlemen, Lincoln and his gay lover, are laying together, and what that would actually smell like in that room.
Yeah, I mean, butt sex even in 2024
stinks.
You have to make it not stink. right? You have to do the work to make it not stink.
It's tough, though.
Yeah.
Because you got the lube, and then you got to get in there. You're still going to have some stink on you.
Well, I mean, it's the woman's job, or whoever the receiver is, to make sure that her butthole is in the right condition for butt sex, right?
But that's a hard ask.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's a demand, actually. It's a requirement.
But then you would have to almost have a regimented diet leading up the week before.
That's what I was talking about with Gary. There's no way he's gay.
Oh, Gary?
Yeah, not one prayer he's gay.
No.
Because he doesn't have the discipline to not have good diet. He's had diarrhea for 6 years.
Yeah.
Without ever having a solid shit.
I don't care about the stink of butt sex. And if someone walks into a room that stinks of butt sex that I just had, you know what I tell them?
What's that?
You're welcome.
I'm the big buck of this lick. And if any of you want to try it, come on and wet your horns.
What about when you get home from work and you can smell it already?
Well, then the bull says that to me. I'm actually paraphrasing what he says.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's this giant black dude dressed up like Abraham Lincoln in Rob's house all the time.
That'd be great, dude. Is that next? I mean, is that where we're going with all this shit? Like, if we're going to do gay docs on presidents and shit, are we just going to come out and say some of these guys are black?
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, Babe Ruth was black. That's what they're saying now.
Are they really, or is that just the joke in the office?
Pull it up.
Is that just the joke in the office? Because we've been saying this behind the scenes. Is he really black?
He doesn't know who his dad is.
He has some features that look like it.
He doesn't know who his dad is, and I don't mean to say that makes him black. It's like his dad could be black.
50% of it.
Here's my favorite headline, which take this as you will.
Ty Cobb
Was
sure
Babe
thought
Ruth
so.
black? Ty Cobb sure thought so.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, Ty Cobb was somewhat racist, I think.
The most racist, I heard. Which is why they included all those Negro League stats in there. They didn't want him to have the record anymore.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. But is that real, that Babe Ruth could potentially been a black man?
Could have been.
He had the nose for it.
There were always rumors that he had significant African ancestry. Allegedly, it's possible.
Pull up some of those photos.
Yeah, pull up a pic for the audience real quick.
Do
Let's
the
see
one
this.
with him with the top hat.
The top hat?
Yeah.
Who did that? All right, who did that? Come on, man. Come on, dude. Is that on screen right now? Put that on screen. It's really funny. Could you imagine, dude? And the press just hit it for years. They just made him white for years and years and years. And they were like, nope. Yeah, pop up this one. Let's see this one.
Kind of old in this one.
Well,
it's a black man. Look at that.
Zoom in. The nose would say yes.
Hold on a second.
Like a hint of it, maybe. Just like a little hint, you know? Just like a psst. Look at the nose. Look at the nose. Have you guys done this before? Have you studied this?
Oh, I have a whole episode where we talk about Willie Mays, but I brought Babe Ruth being black up for the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, you tell me. If you've seen Dune.
Yeah, so this actor...
I forget his name.
Yeah. No, I know who you're talking about.
It's a black man.
Yeah. It's close, but wow.
Also, why do you think the Red Sox owner, who famously didn't sign Jackie Robinson, wanted to get rid of Babe Ruth for nothing?
Oh, the Red Sox were the last team to integrate.
Maybe, dude. I'm not going to rule it out. I'm waiting for the documentary, though, because maybe he's not only black, but also gay, and then they'll have a doc in 15 years.
I mean,
if you butt fucked.
If you told me that Babe Ruth just ran through anything he felt like running through, I'd buy that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even blink at that.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
He was a bit of a hedonist.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I'm kidding. Yeah, he used to fuck. I think he was into chicks, though. I think Babe Ruth was white and he was into girls. That's just me. But I'm sure history will change it soon enough. All right, kids. Now's the point of the show. We get to the Drinkin' Bro of the Week. Are you allowed to come up, by the way? Yeah. Come on up, dude. But if you're out there and you aren't able to come into the studio, submit to Drinkin' Bro of the Week on drinkinbros.com. Bob, pull up the page for us because we got some merch in there. Bunch of ladies on the last episode were excited. They were like, holy shit, you finally have clothes for women. Yeah, we do. Tank tops. Look at that. Creed 24. Hard AF tank tops on drinkinbros.com.
They come in different colors, too. So it's just a display color, but you can get in all these things.
Sure. But we got them all up there. So we got clothes for women, finally. You're welcome. To the 4% of our audience that is women. The convicted fellow on 24s in a women's tank top as well. God damn, that'll rock. All right. Go to drinkinbros.com. While you're there, Even if you don't want merch, you just want to submit to Drinkin' Bro of the Week, click on the submission form, and it'll get emailed to us live on air. However, we would love if you just came into the studio like people often do. Cheers, man. Thanks for coming in.
How's it going, Russ?
Hey, what's up, dude? Tell everybody your name.
Thomas Cargill.
Welcome, dude. Yep. Welcome here. Look at you. Look at you, you son of a bitch. Have you had any hard AFs today?
I have not. Not yet.
You waiting for after the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Smart. We've had, I'd say 8 different listeners over the last couple of weeks come in, get so blackout drunk that they don't even remember where they are. So I understand that. How long have you been listening to the
show? Probably about 2016.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, a minute.
Damn, dude. 8 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started in 2015.
Yes, sir. A little bit late, but.
No, that's all right, dude. Welcome, man. We appreciate it. Who do you want to give Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
My wife, Robin.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
What does Robin do?
She works for a medical billing company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit, she's busy then.
Yes, sir.
God damn. After being in the hospital all that time, do you know the bills that came to my house?
A lot.
8. It felt like 80 every single day. Now, none of them were real, but yeah, they still have to send it to you before it goes to insurance. And I think they do it because they want you to pay of like, oh, hey, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Okay. Because we just had our insurance guy in here earlier this morning for Hard AF, and got to take out life insurance policies and all that other shit, but he was in charge of the other one. So my wife was hitting him up when I was in there. She was getting 800 bills, and it was like, these fucking real? And he's like, no, none of them are real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't find out till the very end. But that's cool. What do you do?
I'm actually looking for a job right now.
No shit. Where do you live?
Round Rock.
Oh, shit. You're in the Round Rock area. I was just there. Yeah. I was unaware how big that minor league stadium was.
Yeah, it's pretty good size.
God damn, man. So, yeah, we're getting into stadiums and obviously colleges and stuff. Actually, shit. So we're in University of Michigan this fall, and was on the phone with a distributor this morning, and then the hats just came in here. Boom. So we'll be selling these on the site as well for all the college teams. Here's the Michigan hat right here. And University of Oregon was over here somewhere. This is just a fun, flirty one they sent in. Just a fucking real American one.
Yeah,
hard
badass.
So stoked about that. Have you been to an Express game out there?
Yeah, several.
Are they cool?
Yeah, you'd like it.
Stadium's dope, dude. Yeah, I was just there. It was fucking rad. And it was out by Kalahari, too. That place fucks.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, if you got kids and all that stuff. It's great.
They do a wine and booze festival in the fall.
There was wine and booze in every square inch of that goddamn place. I took a meeting there because I got White Claw and some other shit in there. And I was unaware how much they really cater to adults because it's a child's thing, And I was like, all right, cool. I got another meeting with another one this weekend, about 45 minutes away, that does the same. And they were like, man, the alcohol sales for parents are through the fucking roof. And I was like, I get it.
The last time we were there, my wife couldn't keep me awake in the Uber on the way back home. And it was only like 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Shut the fuck up. Oh, it's perfect. Because they're doing floaters and shit and the pina coladas and the margaritas and everything. It's great. Well, dude, we appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for stopping in. If you're in Round Rock, stop in whenever you want.
Oh, for sure.
I know it's a little bit of a hike.
Not too bad.
It took me like an hour, I think, last time.
Yeah, well, depending on traffic and stuff.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you being here. Stop into the studio. If you're in Austin, Texas, give out your very own Drinkin' Bro of the Week. If you can't, though, go to drinkinbros.com, click the submission, and it'll be emailed to us live on air. If you want to buy some merch, we're all stocked up. Got women's clothes, finally. Yes, we listened, and great new merch company. They've been fantastic for us. Shout out to Brandon out there for doing that. We appreciate you tuning in. Go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away at that point. For D'Anthony Hollaway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros Podcast. Good night, everyone.